What Trump's win means for Ukraine, the Middle East, and China. Donald Trump's return to the White House signals a potential shift in U.S. foreign policy with massive implications for global security and diplomacy. As war and uncertainty grip parts of the world, what does Trump's victory mean for the ongoing conflicts in Ukraine, the Middle East, and his approach to China? Let's break it down. Ukraine, a one-day peace or surrender? Trump's campaign repeatedly claimed that he could end the war in Ukraine in a day. While he didn't specify how, it's clear that his approach would likely involve a radical shift in U.S. involvement. Trump has long favored non-interventionism, and his America First stance could mean reducing U.S. commitment to Ukraine's fight against Russia. Trump's former national security advisors suggested that the U.S. should continue supplying Ukraine with weapons, but only if Kyiv agrees to peace talks with Russia. This would involve promising Russia that Ukraine's NATO membership wouldn't happen anytime soon. Critics argue that this approach would abandon Ukraine's territorial integrity and weaken European security, but Trump remains focused on ending the war and limiting U.S. resources spent overseas. NATO leaders are also worried. Trump has long criticized the alliance, accusing Europe of freeloading off the U.S. military. His victory raises serious questions about the future of NATO and America's commitment to defending its allies. Whether he would go as far as pulling the U.S. out of NATO is unclear, but the threat of a significant shift in U.S. foreign policy is very real. The Middle East, Trump's maximum pressure policy returns. Trump's foreign policy in the Middle East was defined by strong actions, including pulling the U.S. out of the Iran nuclear deal and imposing harsh sanctions. He also killed Iranian General Qasem Soleimani, and many believe that his return to office would see a resurrection of this hardline stance, especially toward Iran. During his campaign, Trump vowed to end the Isreal Hamas conflict, but as with many of his policies, he didn't lay out clear details on how he would do it. He has often said that under his leadership, Hamas would not have attacked Israel due to his maximum pressure strategy against Iran, the group's main benefactor. Trump's first term was also marked by strong support for Israel, such as recognizing Jerusalem as its capital and moving the U.S. embassy there. While this bolstered his standing among pro-Israel groups, it alienated Palestinians who saw the move as a betrayal of their claims to the city. Trump's policies also led to the Abraham Accords, normalizing diplomatic relations between Israel and several Arab nations, without requiring Israel to accept a Palestinian state. How Trump would navigate the current Israel-Hamas conflict is uncertain, but his support for Israel combined with his desire for peace could lead to further complexities in the region. China, trade wars and tough talk. Trump's relationship with China was one of the defining aspects of his presidency. Labeling China as a strategic competitor, he imposed tariffs on Chinese imports, sparking a trade war that affected global markets. Even after the Biden administration continued many of the Trump-era policies, Trump's hardline approach to China remains a cornerstone of his foreign policy. Trump has repeatedly called Chinese President Xi Jinping both brilliant and dangerous, and his administration implemented tariffs to address the U.S. trade deficit. His victory could mean a return to tougher economic policies aimed at curbing China's rise, especially in trade and technology. Trump has also been vocal about supporting Taiwan, warning China against taking military action against the island, and promising to continue U.S. support for Taiwan's defense. One of Trump's most controversial statements during his campaign was about Taiwan, where he said that if China attempted a blockade of the island, he would impose crippling tariffs on Chinese imports to force them to back down. Whether this tough rhetoric will translate into policy remains to be seen, but it signals that Trump would take a confrontational stance toward China if elected. Conclusion: a shifting global landscape. Trump's return to the White House represents a significant shift in U.S. foreign policy. His focus on America First promises to challenge global institutions like NATO, recalibrate relations with key allies, and put pressure on rival powers like China and Russia. Whether his actions will bring about peace or deepen global tensions remains uncertain. But one thing is clear: his approach will reshape the world order in profound ways. Thanks for watching. Let us know your thoughts on Trump's foreign policy and what it means for the future of global relations. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more insights on current events.